Hey, this is Tobtok and I'm here at Rhodes Studios in Stockholm to talk about my sound pack Tobtok's Piano House. And I'm gonna go through all the patches and show you how I made them and what I was thinking when I made them. So yeah, let's dig in. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know who I am, I go under the artist name Tobtok and I've been making house music for 12 years now and I've always worked in Rhodes. I'm actually from Sweden, but I ended up doing more like UK kind of house, probably because my management are from the UK and they're also my label and publisher, and I guess being back and forth to London for all these years have been inspiring me. Yeah, that's why I ended up doing a piano house. I've always used pianos in my tracks since I started out, but I made more kind of like new disco stuff before, but ended up in a more clubbier vibe. So in my sound pack I have 10 different combinators. I have a few different layers, so the main sort of base of the track is obviously the drums, and I went with a 909 bass drum, so got my own little kick here, 909 clap, another kind of clap, 909 closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, and a crash. So the beat sounds a bit like this. It's a very standard sort of house beat. The 909 drum machine is like the classic house drum machine that when house got sort of invented in the 80s, that was the drum machine you used. So it's like the classic sort of 90s style, but the drum machine is from the 80s, but yeah. Okay, so the next patch we have is a low bass, so I'm using a few layers. So there's 2 layers on the bass. So this is the low bass, it's made from monotone. It's a very standard sounding sort of FM bass. Yeah, you can control every patch with the combinator controls here. So there's a chorus amount and a filter. So yeah, you can just have fun with those. And the other layer is an organ bass. Yeah, it's a typical M1 sort of bass sound, organ bass. I've made my own sample and put it in the N19 sampler, and there's a chorus and a little bass boost from Audiomatic, and also my standard master bus compressor, channel EQ, and then another EQ, and then another EQ, and then lastly a sidechain compressor, and then I also have a reverb. So there's quite a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, you can control the chorus here as well, the reverb, all sorts of things to make it bouncy. So let's move over to the first piano layer. And this is a radical piano. It's my favorite piano in Reason. I use it on every track I make. I love to use the drift here to make it sound a bit more sort of vintage and a bit more vibey. We also have an echo, chorus, to make it more like, almost like Supertramp, you know? But also reverb. Just the basic stuff, you know, EQ, master bus compressor, sidechain. And the last piano layer is a clonk piano from Malmström. It's probably been around for a few years, but I discovered it recently, and yeah, I just thought that it sounded really good because it has a really like nice click to it. It sounds really crap on its own actually. Or no, it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good, but it doesn't sound like a piano at all. It just gives it that nice click that you want, like an attack on a piano. So it's a really great tool to layer with. And then the last layer is a Rhodes. And I love to use Rhodes to layer with my piano. So it just gives it a bit more low end and a bit more grit to it. Yeah, it just has a nice sort of like low mid tone. And of course you have reverb and stuff on it. It's just a little trick I use to make my pianos fatter. And then the last patches we have is string. It's actually from NXT. I went with this string because it sounds a bit samply with like the attack time, which I like. And then we have, just a standard sidechain EQ. And then we have a pad. And it's from Scenic. I think it's quite new actually, the Scenic synth. It's a pretty cool, like samply, sort of interesting synth, which I like. And it has, just standard crazy EQs and sidechain on. And lastly, we have an ARP. That's not really an ARP, but I made it as an ARP. It's from Parsec, and there's actually a lot of controls here that you can use, like a detune to make it a bit more trancy, or like a filter, or a distortion. So yeah, this one you can go absolutely crazy with. I love this sort of rig. And then Audiomatic cracked is the secret sauce to it, which makes it like sound like it's almost broken. So yeah, that's basically the pack, and I hope you will get creative with it and just mess around, have fun. I'll show you a little clip that I made using just the patches, and just to demonstrate what you can do with it. So here's the wacky sounding piano layer in its final form. And this is the Rhodes piano. So this is how the piano sounds with all the layers. So it sounds like a piano, but it's actually a Rhodes, a weird synth layer, and a piano mixed together. So that makes it like a bit more punchy, a bit more rich. And the string, I'm actually just doing a held note, which gives it that sort of atmospheric vibe, but it's not the most fun way you can use the strings with, but you can just do whatever you want with them. And we have like an ARP just going in a really simple pattern, like this. It acts like a natural riser. I think the fun thing about this is that it sounds very simple, but it's actually a bit more depth and stuff to it. I mean, using layers is a very smart way to work with sound design. You can make sounds that are a bit more your own and a bit more different than just using a preset. So I think that's the fun thing about layering. So yeah, let's listen to it. Yeah, so that's it. That was my sound pack. All you have to do to download it is to get a subscription on Reason Plus and check it out in the companion. It's that easy. And all the patches gonna be there. So yeah, make sure to check it out. If you want to know more about me or listen to my music, just search for Tobtok on any streaming platform or social media. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.